Today we're going to talk about how to make a starter Flutter app. Our app is going to look like this, where we're going to use a Flutter package which will generate a random names. Uh, when we scroll, every time we scroll down, we scroll up, it will generate 10 random words, and we will add a functionality into it by choosing the favorite words and add them into another list. So let's get started. So at this point, I am assuming that you guys know that you guys set up your Flutter environment already. And if you don't, you can go to the Flutter SDK, this link, and use from the last workshop that we attended for Android Studio. You guys downloaded an Android Studio. We're going to be doing everything inside the Android Studio. The only difference will be that we will be using Flutter language, which is Dart, to make the app. Instead of Java, we're going to use Dart language. So in order to check your app once it is done, you can use a physical device by connecting your Android or iOS device with your MacBook or Windows, or you can install an iOS simulator or in the Android simulator to check how your app looks like at the end. The best way is to use the physical device, which I usually use, because you can easily interact with the app in real time and see if there are any errors. Simulators also takes a lot of time to download and get into a state. So this is just the settings for, these are just the settings for if somebody wants to check their app on the web, which usually we don't. So we're gonna head towards building an app. So to make a starter Flutter app, you have to open the Android Studio. And once you open the Android Studio and you set up your own, set up the Flutter SDK, you will see a start a new Flutter project option over here. This option is for the Android Studio project, and this one, the down one, is going to be for the Flutter. You're going to click on that option and we're going to make a new project for Flutter. So once just open, just select the first Flutter application with the Flutter app. You can change, we can call this Flutter app, first Flutter app. And just hit next and finish. It will create a package name with this com.example. This is going to be our package name, inside which we were going to have all our folders. Once the package is created, and the Android Studio will automatically open. While it opens at the back end, let me explain you a little bit about Flutter and Dart. So the language is mostly built on widgets, and most of the functionality that we added into the app is through packages. So through plugins and packages. Plugins is actually another way of saying plugins. So with the most of our work that we will be doing, that will be in our main.dart file, which is inside lib folder. Just like in Java, we have a main file. In this same thing here in Dart language, we're gonna have a main file, and we will just copy paste the whole thing and I think yes, it is open. We were gonna take this whole thing off. When you open your Flutter app, you will see they give you the testing app already with the counter to increment. You're just gonna select and replace it with the code from the code lab. We will going to replace the existing code with our code that we found on the code lab. So as you can see here, they have the main method. People who are familiar with object-oriented programming knows about how it's being inherited, how we are using a class called a stateless widget, and then we are overriding a method, and then using a widget to build an app and the UI of our app. Once you pasted that, second thing that we need to do is when you see this thing, we will going to see that we will have, when we run the app, I run on my app on physical, so when you run the app you will see that it's gonna show us the hello world. Secondly, we're gonna go to the next option. And then we're gonna add the dependencies for our app. So in this app, we're gonna be adding a dependency for the English word, which is a plugin to have the functionality in our app to randomly generates name words. So we are going to open the pubspec YML file. You have to be careful in this file because this file is need to be very space sensitive. Like each space can make and break the file. So when we are adding a dependency inside this, you have to be careful with the spaces. So this Flutter is for this. This means this SDK Flutter is inside this Flutter. And the one that I added right now is inside this dependencies. So this refers to this. If you add the package inside this Flutter, it will not gonna work. After adding this English words package, you're gonna update the pub get, and it will get this package and then update our file. Once we are done with that, it will give us a 0 code. You can also run this command inside the terminal on your Android app, like here. You can also run this command over here, and if you can do it without by saying pub-get, and it will give you the same thing, will do the same thing. So it means that it picked up the packet and updated our pubspec YML file successfully. Now after importing the package, we will import the package into our file. So before, when we started, we import the package material.art, which will help material.dart, which help us in making the UI for our app. And we are importing this package so that we can have that random generator of words functionality in our app. Then we are going to be adding, because the app that we have right now only print hello world, we will going to tell our app to print a word pair as Pascal case, which is one of the properties of this plugin that we installed in our file. So we just gonna replace this, replace the hello world with this thing, and remove this constant thing so that you guys don't get any error. And on top of that, we are going to add this line too. To here, so that I think I added in the wrong thing, widget. Okay, we're gonna add after the widget this final word pair. It will generate the random word pair, and inside the body we are going to have this text with the word pair. Once we are done with that, we can now see every time we load our app, we will see that every time the app will going to generate a new name for us, a new word for us. So I can't use my emulator because it take a lot of time and it doesn't work on my laptop. So you guys can check your app by using an simulator or emulator for iOS or on your physical device to see if it's working the same way as I'm saying. And you will see that every time you run the app by using the hot reload, which is the best part I found about Flutter, every time you are going to run your app, you will see a different keyword over here because it is being generated by this function, by this plugin automatically. Let me tell you a little bit about what hot reload is. When we are trying to run any app in the Android Studio, we used to run the app every time, and it takes a lot of time to run the app and bring it into an operational state. So in Flutter, they came up with an idea which they called as a hot reload, where the developer can run the app and see the changes in real time right away in like 5 to 3 seconds easily. So once you run the app on your device, if I can show you guys right here just in case. Once you can run the app in your device, as you can see right now, I just ran the app. I'm trying to launch this app in my physical device. And once the Gradle is being built, it will just going to take a little bit of time when it is building first time. After that, it will be really easy and quick for us to build and check our app. So once it is done, you will see this thing is going to light up, which once you go over there, you will see Flutter hot reload. Hot reload changes into the running Flutter app. So we can see, so let's say if I change anything over here, I just need to press this hot reload button and it will show me the changes right away. And so that's the best part about Flutter that I find out of. After this, we are going to make a class which we name random word state. The Dart language have widgets, stateless widgets, and stateful widgets. Stateless widgets are the widgets that are cannot be changed, and in which they have the final properties, which are finals. Their instance are being made final. The stateful widgets can change while we are using the app. So we're going to make a class called random words state, which will extend the state into a generic type, as you can see here, with random words. So we're going to copy this right outside our stateless class. You're going to copy this widget, and every widget have a build method. So we're gonna add a build method in it too, which I think we will do in a bit. One second, let me go back. So now we're gonna add another class called stateful widget. We're just gonna copy paste this class too as it is, and it will going to be asking us about the build method, which we can build by saying widget build. And there you go. This is our build method. And we're gonna override a method called create state with the random state, calling a random state, which random words state, which is over here. After that, as you can see, we already made the build method. Now we're going to transfer this thing, copy paste this thing over here. Now we're gonna copy paste. After creating these two classes, we're going to add this line into a state class, random words state class. right here. Once we are done with that, now we're going to replace this text with the random words class. So now we are going to replace with the random words class. Oops. There you go. And here we call the method, we call the class, and then we're going to reload. As you can see right now, if I show you guys again, it will give me a hot reload button over here that we can use to check the changes into our app right away. It's really helpful. I know, I think it's gonna take a lot of time, so I'll just move on to the next phase. So at this point, we are going to make a scrolling list view for our words. We're gonna add in the random word state class, we're gonna add these two final instance variable. The one will be of list, generic list type. The other one will be a text style for the fonts, for the font size. So here we go. And since I already copied it, I just uncommented it out. Remove the comment and it's right there. After that, we are going to use a build suggestion method. This method we're going to build the list view that displays the suggested word pairing. So we're going to copy the whole thing. We're going to copy the whole method and we're going to paste it over here outside the class. Outside the build widget. And then after that, to build the row, we are going to use the row widget for that, and we'll add the same thing. We'll add the build row widget inside the random words state class. So after this, here we have the build row. Then we're gonna change we're gonna call the build suggestion method inside our build widget, which is inside random words state. So inside random words state, this is random words state. Inside this we have the build widget, and inside build widget we have scaffold, which is a UI. And here in the body we're gonna call the build suggestion class, build suggestion widget, just which we made it over here. After that, we're gonna change the title of our app with startup name generator inside the my app class. So inside my app, which is this, it says here, welcome to Flutter. We're gonna change it into startup name generator. Generator, and you can take this one out because we just need one on our app bar, which is on the top. And we already called the random words, which it asked me to call. So now at this stage, our app is going to look like this. We are done with the part one of our Flutter app. Whatever we did so far, our app should looks like this. If it won't, you guys can check this main.dart file and compare your code with this and compile it and see if it got any error. You can check it on your physical device, on your iOS simulator or Android simulator. Next, we are going to add the interactivity in our app and add the ability to navigate to a new route by checking the heart sign, by favorite the words, and modify the theme color. So let's head towards part 2. In the part 2, when we already done part 1, just skip these 3 steps and go to part 4, because now we have to enter the icons into our app. So first, what we're gonna do inside our random words state class, we're gonna add this line. We're gonna add this line of code inside our random words state class. Gonna go here, random words state class, add this line. This will going to save the pair of words. And why we use set is because set does not allow duplicates, while list does allow duplicates. That's why we're using set instead of list. Then we are going to add this line of code inside the build raw widget that we made inside the random words state. So here is the build raw widget that we have made, and we're going to add this line of code in our state. After this, to add the icons, we're gonna copy and paste this line of code, and after the font, as you can see over here, that it is having color, when this bigger font is ending, then we're gonna use it. So after this, we're going to paste this font, and it will add the icons, the color in our app. So now our app, so after adding the icons in our app, now we're going to add the interactivity on tap. When the user tap on the heart, what is going to happen? Now we're going to add that function into our app. So in the same class that we were in called random words state, we are going to, in the same class which is random words state, we are going to add OnTap function, and it is probably, you can see here after the icon trailing. So after the icon, where we're gonna add this OnTap thing, and it will going to give us, it will change the state of the icons to the red when we tap on it. So now our app should look like this. The OnTap functionality into our app. Now we're going to use the navigation function to link our window to the new screen, to the new route. In Flutter they call it route. So when the user click on this icon, it will take it to the new route and take it to the new page where all the favorite words are being saved. So for that, we are going to add these 3 lines of code into a random words state build widget. So inside this, as you can see, after the text, we're going to add this code. So after the text, we're going to add this code. And then we have to make a function called push saved, so that push save as a parameter we are calling over here can work. So after adding a push saved function inside our random words class, we are going to add all this line of code inside push. So this all will go inside push. And from here till here is gonna go after to list. After this is gonna come this thing. It will going to give us the horizontal dividers. So after adding this line of code and this whole thing, we added the functionality in our app to navigate between the pages. So now after when we favorite some of the words, it will going to appear inside on the another screen. By clicking on this icon, we will navigate to the next page on our app. The app is almost finished over here. So if you want to know more about it or do some more changes into the UI, we can add a primary color to the theme and change the UI settings. So like right now, the color was on our theme was this. It was blue, right? It was blue, and now it could be white. We can make it white by adding a theme data, a primary color, and make it white. Or there are a lot of colors in this widget, so we can add as many colors as you want. They have gradient color too. So we are done here, and I hope you guys will get an idea how it works. The only thing that I would ask all our group members is to go on each one of these links and check out their videos. They have, especially their Flutter cookbook, it's really good. They have all the sample codes for everything. So like if I want to how to route from page to page, how to use a widget, they have different widgets for different kind of simulation, different kind of pages. For design, how to make a drawer screen or a snack bar. They have everything, how to do the gesture stuff, images, list, and it's mostly similar to Java, but I would say this language, what I have learned so far, is more easy to understand and less to write. Like most of the work is being done at the back end, so the developer does not have to do much when making an app, because most of the things are being done at the back end of each package and or each widget. You just have to use the properties of those widgets and make it work for your app. So it's really easy and it's really good. So you guys can go over here, flutter.dev docs cookbook, or I would say if you guys want to go to pub.dev, this is where you can find the packages, Dart packages. So just to give you an idea, I was implementing one package, one of the projects called alert box. It was a Flutter package, I think. So they have alert box for, so look, they have alert boxes like this. So you can have many packages do you want. So for, let's say, for Dart, if I search for RF Flutter alert, right here, I think. This is amazing. Check this one out. They have amazing samples and examples and very cute boxes here. So like as an example, oh my god, I wish I could have shown you guys how it work. They have the examples over here. Anyway, you guys can check this website out, which is gonna be really helpful for you, because they have packages and everything is easy. Like you can implement the package, and like all the code you just have to copy paste most of the time, because right now if I want to implement the alert package, I'm just gonna copy paste everything, add the dependencies, click on installing, add the dependency, update the pub-get dart, import the package, and just add the whole code into my project, and then customize it on my own. So it's really cool. You guys should check this one out.